Today we're going to be giving you a tour of this professionally converted van behind me. We have lived in this van for 4 weeks and we have experienced it in many different ways. I mean, storms, floods, illness, and good times too.
So we are going to walk you through all the systems in this van, and we're going to go through what we think we're going to incorporate or what we're going to change for our own van design. So let's get to it. Hop in. This is the living room here. This van does have swivel seats, which does open up the space quite nicely. You can turn around and see the entire van from here. They're relatively comfy as far as car seats go, and they are quite helpful for, we did use them a lot for eating on the table here. And also, this table also does open out so that the person sitting on the next swivel seat here does have a table to eat on, work on, and so forth. It does get a little difficult. It's like playing Tetris sometimes. But yeah, they're not too bad, but I don't think we're going to have them because they do take a lot of space. Like I said, there's a large rotation surface that you need in order to swivel it round without playing Tetris with the walls and the table. There are 2 more seats here as well, which are car seats because they have seat belts. This van can seat 4 people when moving, but it can only sleep 2. If this were to fold out into a bed, that would be a really good idea because then you can seat 4 and sleep 4. Again, this is just a nice workspace. You've got plugs up here. So you've got one normal plug and one 12-volt plug there. So yeah, the table's a decent size. It's a really good work area. We've used it quite a lot. However, when things do come and clutter on the table, the space fills up pretty fast. If you keep the table clear, it's a good workspace. So this is the kitchen. It's quite a compact kitchen. It's only 1.10 meters wide from end to end. And when you're cooking, aka you have the hob up and you have the sink open, this is not enough space to cook properly. We had to use the extendable table from the dining room area. And as you can see with this table out, if you've got things on here, it blocks the corridor, it blocks pretty much the whole van. It makes it quite unusable and inconvenient. With 2 pans nicely cooking away, if you look here, this one is perfectly fine. However, if you've got a pan, this one is a little bit difficult to start. And it does get quite hot, so you do burn your fingers. Now the sink is tiny. Teeny tiny. And also, if you've got anything in the sink, especially up against this wall and you've got this flame on and it's plastic, it will melt. In our van design, we're going to have a much bigger sink. We love big sinks. We do a lot of cooking in the van. So we need a big sink in order to wash things up, put things in. Just makes things so much more useful.
This van does have quite a lot of storage. Not always practical storage, but a lot of storage nonetheless. Plenty of utensils. If we were to drink wine, we will be sorted. Bowls, plates, the cooking pots. They're not quite the size of the van, you know, but they're there. Then here we have these cubbies on top. They're really good because they have these I believe I call like hydraulics, or basically they stay open and they don't fall on your head, so you can just rummage around and pick up what you need. If I don't close it myself all the way, it will do it by itself, which is good because when you're driving, you don't want to find out that you didn't close the cupboard well. The kitchen also has some plugs that you can basically just plug your appliances into the van. Now, one thing with this van, the electrical system has sort of a safety feature that you cannot use these plugs unless you plugged into a campsite, basically into the grid. It is true that the appliances that you would plug into these plugs would use quite a bit of energy quite fast, so maybe that's why they included this feature. We personally want to ensure that our van is completely off grid, and because we don't want to have to rely on a campsite to be able to basically live in our own home. But hey ho, we had an inverter. We plugged it into the 12 volts. Now down here we have a pantry. Now There's a lot of space here. You can fit a lot of cans in here. The only upgrade I would really do to it is to have it as a pull-out, so basically you don't have to rummage and see what you have. It's a bit difficult in this van because this corridor is very narrow. We'll talk about that in a bit. And also this is a handy feature if that comes out with it. If you can't think of what to put in a small corridor like that, then this is as good as anything, really. Then there's this cupboard, also known as the useless cupboard, because, okay, nobody really hangs clothes, especially when you live in a van. Hanging clothes just takes so much space. And then there aren't really shelves or anything to put stuff on, so everything just ends up being piled down here. So here we have a relatively big fridge. It's a Dometic fridge. If you plugged in, you turn the wheel this, and basically that tells the fridge to run off the electricity coming off that connection. If you want to run it on battery, in this van you can only run it on the battery again when you're moving. And then we usually keep it on gas because we tend to forget if it's on battery. Unfortunately, this van does not have any sort of feature to warn us when we're running out of gas. Also, no feature to tell us if there's a gas leak or anything like that. It's in this design, we're relying on the smell of the gas. So if we smell the gas, oh, there's a gas leak. Directly opposite the kitchen, there is the shower and toilet block. Right here. And we open this. It's a slidey door. And then inside, voila! Now here, this is a flushing toilet. It's a chemical toilet, which has to be emptied ever so often. Not our favorite option for permanent dwelling, but works well enough. It's a spinning toilet. Now this bathroom does have quite a bit of storage. There's plenty of storage in there for all the bathroom stuff that go in the bathroom. The shower doubles up as this shower head. You turn it on, you do your business. There we are. There's a bit of water in it. There we are.
This here is the bed. It is a standard double, 1m35 wide by 1m80 long. I am 1m76 or 5'10". Now the bed is just about the length that I am, but when you factor in the pillows, obviously your head is not right up against the wall, so I do stretch out, and I do find like I need to tilt sideways to fit in, and stretching out's a little bit hard. The other thing about the mattress is it's not actually a perfect square or rectangle mattress. In order to fit in the shower block compartment, they have had to cut out a bit of the mattress, which does make it quite claustrophobic for whoever is sleeping here. You've got your head right up against a wall. This van has very little insulation, and where you most feel it is when you're sleeping in the bed. This is where the window would be. You know, in the vans, when there's a shell, they have an indent where the window would go. Since this indents exactly with the van's contour, that means there is very little to no insulation both here, both where your feet are, well, this is where our feet are, and also at the back here they have actually put windows in, but again, since this space is taken up by blinds and stuff, there is actually very little insulation, and at night when it is cold outside you can feel the draft coming in from outside. So the bedroom area, as you can see, has quite a lot of storage. There are 6 of these cupboards, each of the ones similar. You know, they have the really good hinges, you just have to push them and they close automatically. We struggled to fill the space. And another really good thing is a skylight right above the bed. There's a skylight over where the kitchen is, which is useful and handy. However, a skylight above the bedroom is really, really good. You can, it just gives you like a more open space. Light can come in, and it really gives you a sense of like the morning is actually coming into your bedroom, and when you're sitting here you can have natural light coming in. It's really handy. As we mentioned before, this corridor is actually very thin. I can just about fit in it this way, but when you're moving around and you want to get past each other, just have it a little wider. So the bed does actually come apart. The mattress is in 3 parts, each completely removable and interchangeable like this.
To actually dismantle the bed, you have to put the mattresses somewhere. It's not the most elegant of systems, but you can put it away.
To access the water tank, it is best to have this down, but in order to show you properly. So the water tank is in here. You can fill it up from the outside, and somewhere in there, the water pump. So if you did need to replace that, it's not too hard to replace it. As you can see here, inside the van, this is the metal. That's the metal of the outside of the van. You should never ever be able to see the metal of the van next to pipes, or actually at all.
Having inadequate insulation, especially when there's so many temperature changes around you, does cause condensation in the van, which has gotten the mattress and the pillows wet, if whatever's touching the walls. So condensation is a real problem, and it definitely has to be addressed when you're actually creating a mobile dwelling.
Everything in this van runs off gas, so you can have a hot water heater. We have a boiler which heats water, so we can control that from the control panel, and also we do have air heating as well, again run by gas, which can be controlled from the control panel. We can control the temperature that we want things. Now for the heating, it is lovely to have heating in a vehicle. All the heating vents are at the front of the van, so the heating vents, you can have it open so the air comes out, or you can close it like that and the air doesn't come out. There is one under in the garage under the bed, and that is it. There is nothing in the bed area, so the bed area does get pretty cold at night. Even if there is hot air blowing all night, it doesn't really reach that area, it kind of stays in here. And more importantly, the temperature sensor, which senses when the heating needs to come on, is located right here. Heat risers, so all the heat that is in this collective area, which is where 4 of the 6 vents are, will all come up, reach the temperature gauge, which is one of these two, we're not sure which one it is, and that's what controls when the heating comes on or off. So the temperature gauge probably should also be at least at probably waist level nearer the back as well, so that the bed actually gets heated properly. Now this thing here is the control panel for the whole van, so you can pretty much control any sort of electronics or anything from this area. So if we click on each button, we've got our water levels, and the next one along is our battery levels. So we've got 2 batteries. Battery 1 is our leisure battery, the lithium ion, which is brilliant. We can drain it pretty much all the way. It's been really helpful. So yeah, gives you lots of information about how long the battery will last, how many amps you're using, and such. That's our leisure battery, and this here is the car battery. This is our heating controlled system. So the top one is the air heating, so that's the temperature of how hot the air is. When it drops below that temperature, the heating comes on. The next one along is the water heating. This one's currently not on green, so we don't actually have any water heating. So you can find the boiler under this seat in here. So you open this up, these are the gas valves for everything, and the boiler is in, it's a little bit hard to see, but it is in there. And then the gas bottles are stored at the back, so you can go and replace them. Let's go see them. Alright, so the gas bottles are located right at the back here. We unlock the van, open the back door. So the gas is located in here. This is a sealed compartment, so if the gas were to leak, there's a hole in the base where the gas would leak out from. I think it's like right at the back over there. There are space for 2 10-kilo gas bottles. The spare one we have at the back, and then the one that's connected up is connected up right here. Having the spare bottle at the back does make it for quite a pickle to change the gas. You have to unscrew this one, take this one out, then grab that one, put the empty one at the back. It's quite a hassle, and believe me, when it's raining and freezing cold and windy, it's not nice to have to go outside to change the gas.
Here you have all the random hoses and electric connections, the stoppers for the tires if you stop you want to be level, etc, etc.
They're there if we need them. Wow. So this van is a Fiat Ducto, but it's been converted professionally, and they actually call it a Vantana 60. It seems to be some sort of standard camper van layout and design and such. It seems like the van designers have thought about nearly everything but for temporary living, but why should that matter? It is possible, I would say, to live in this full time, but there are a few adjustments that we would make in order to make our lives more comfortable in a van like this. How would you rate this van? What kind of features in this van do you like and do you not like? Please let us know down in the comments below, as we've given our opinion. We would love to hear yours, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. There will be plenty more van videos coming up in the future, including many more designs for our own van, which this van has helped a lot with. So we will catch you next time.